You're listening to Beauty and Beyond Playbook. I'm your host, Mitsy Hernandez. Welcome back to the podcast. I have been MIA from the podcast, although the last episode I talked about going hard because I have been going hard, but I've been going hard on putting the finishing touches on the trust journey. I am so excited. It is about to open its doors, and I am just so excited to have all of y'all in there to start witnessing people's transformation, to start seeing the way that your business is going to change. Oh my gosh, I am so excited. So I am sorry that I've been neglecting you. I have been working really hard on the trust journey, and I will have that out for you as soon as possible. So let's get into the topic for today, which is what I am doing to gear up for January and February. Okay, so a couple of, disclaimers. First and foremost, I want to say, so if full-time is 100%, I lash, I would say 60% of the time. So I no longer lash full-time. I dedicate a lot of my time to mentorship. However, I still rely on lashing to take care of my bills. So lashing is still important to me. So this is what I've been doing. This is like things I suggest you can do. It's up to you. If you take anything that I say, use it for your own business. If you disagree, of course, throw the whole thing away. But this is what I'm doing, and this is how I'm gearing up my mentees. So first and foremost, I am reducing the barrier to entry. And so what that means is when you want someone to come on and be your client, you want to make it as frictionless as possible. You don't want them to jump through a lot of hoops. And the fastest way for me to do that is to reduce the price of my full set. So my full sets are $220 for classic and $280 for volume. And for the months of January and February, I am taking 50% off. So all full sets will essentially be the cost of an infill. And I am super excited to see if that gets me any clientele. So far, no one has booked, but I am going to push it really, really hard in January and February to see if it gets me new clientele. Like I stated, I lash 60% of the time, so I probably only need about 5 new clients for me to be happy at the amount of time I will be spending lashing. So I don't need a lot of clients. But if you are someone who does need a lot of clients, I would try to figure out how can you reduce the barrier to entry. If you have like a new client special only for January and February, if you have some way that people feel like I can finally get in and get introduced to her services. Half sets would be a really good new introductory thing, but like I stated on my episode about half sets, make sure that you give them the luxury of it and that you talk them into getting full infills or a full set eventually. My mentees, what I am getting them to do is a lot of them are reducing their full set price. Not all the time, but they're reducing it just for January and February. Okay, another thing is I am posting about my services right now. While I am not pushing January and February appointments yet, I am posting about my services. I am posting my lashes. I am posting my brows. I am talking about it. I am constantly pushing it. Make sure that you are constantly pushing your services. Just because your page has like a lot of lashes, don't assume that people know you're working. Sometimes when people end up on certain people's pages, if there is not a new post, they will assume that you are not currently working, which is a dumb assumption. Doesn't mean that it's a right assumption, but people will assume. So make sure that you are pushing that. When you are pushing your services, make sure, even though I understand some people make content so that they go viral, make sure that you are putting in the hashtags and even in your location where the fuck you are. There is nothing more frustrating than to end up on someone's page and they're not even in your fucking state. So make sure that you're constantly posting where you are, like what city you're at. I would also highly recommend that you post what city you're in your bio. That is like the number one mistake I see a lot of people do. They do not post in their bio where they're from. The minute someone lands on your page, they should be able to know this bitch is in California, I'm in New Jersey, never mind. Okay? So make sure that you make it very well known about where the fuck you are. That's very important. Simply because I haven't advertised lashing in like 2 years, I am a little low on clients and I would like to go ahead and build that up just until I decide to finally leave or get an employee, because I'm pretty sure I'm going to get an employee next year. So that is another thing. I'm posting content. Make sure you're posting content. Make sure you're posting every single day. Okay, another thing, storytelling. If you go look at my last post about brows, I am telling a story. When you make your content, make sure that you're telling a story. A lot of the times, or what I'm seeing people do, is they just post like a cute little snippet of some lashes and they let it go. That's okay every once in a while if you're like, well, I really just need to stay relevant. But storytelling is what's gonna be the big thing in 2025. Also, understand that TikTok is probably gonna be banned, which most people don't want it to, but let's just assume that it is, right? Let's just go ahead and say that it is. If TikTok is banned, that means that you're gonna have a shit ton of creators moving different platforms. Sharpen up on your storytelling skills and your content making skills. I'm trying to do that right fucking now. Whether it's for mentorship or lashes, whatever, my content has got to become tip top. Like I have got to work hard on my content, because there's going to be a lot of wonderful creators that know how to storytell, that know how to edit, that know how to go viral. They know how to keep eyes on their content, moving platforms, whether that's YouTube or Instagram or a new platform that's going to come out. Make sure that you are sharpening your skills. That is what you need to be doing right now. Sharpening your skills, because it's supposed to, I think, get banned January, God, I don't know, January something. And those creators are moving fast, quick, and they're gonna pivot because they need to make money. So make sure that you are sharpening that. That is one thing that I am definitely doing. That's another like little tip that I'll give you. Play with your stories. Like I have been playing with my stories and trying to storytell on my stories and trying to be brave enough to record myself and record what I'm doing out in public, because I want to get good at it without fear. I want to learn angles. I want to learn how to turn the camera around, like of my phone, and have me still be in shot, right? Without having to use a mirror or something. I want to get good at that. And so play around with stories. I've been doing it on stories, and it has loosened me up on making content in public, which I used to be very, very, very afraid to make content in public once upon a time. So yes, that is one thing that's very important. Another thing that I am doing is which may be a little late to you to do it now in December, but I would think about doing it maybe in January and February. You want to get as much money as possible in the slowest times of the year. How are you gonna do that? I am offering packages to my clients. I have never done this ever in my life. I am offering packages to my clients. Now, there's 2 reasons I'm doing it. 1, to retain clientele. 2, to get a large amount of money quick. And 3, I am trying to save up a lot of money because I'm about to aggressively pay off my credit card debt. And nothing's better when you're paying off any credit card debt or medical debt or any debt that you may have than to have an emergency account where you can dip into it if an emergency comes up. So that is why. So I offered packages. I offered 12 infills, 6 infills for classic and volume, and then I offered 3 spots for unlimited infills for 2025 for $1,500. So again, if this sounds like something that you would like to do, go do it, go copy it. I've had 4 people buy. It's not a lot of people, but my packages cost a lot of money. Like I said, $1,500 for unlimited infills, which by the way, for most of my clients, it's a fucking steal. Like they're getting a deal. So I sold that once. I sold a 6-month package for $600. not a 6 month, sorry, 6 infill. And then I sold a 12 infill. And I think that was like, God, I don't remember, maybe 1,500, maybe 1,400. So my clients are obviously giving me like large amounts of money, which is why I haven't had a lot of people buy. But if you position yours in a certain kind of way, you may have more people buy than I am, and you'll have a large amount of money. Now, when you are being given large amounts of money, when you sell packages, when you sell things like that, obviously the pros is you get a lot of money in the now. The cons is that you're gonna work and you're not gonna make money right then and there. But it is very important that you know how to manage your money. I have gotten really good at managing my money now. Obviously, I wasn't once upon a time when I got into credit card debt, but I am now. And so I can fully believe that I can get large amounts of money in my bank account and I'm not gonna spend it. I'm gonna save it for a rainy day, for an emergency, or for whenever I need it. If you know in your heart that you're not good at that, I actually would discourage you from doing packages, because you're gonna get a large amount of money, you're gonna spend it, and then you're gonna be fucked when it's time for you to work. So if you know you're good with money, try packages. Another thing that one of my mentees is doing is she is offering a membership based like infill kind of thing. Obviously you can do this. Oh my gosh, this would be so good with brows. If there is a membership based brows thing where it covers like unlimited tints, because I don't know about you, but my tints don't last that long. I use the hybrid ones where it's like henna and tint or whatever. And the most I find that the tints last are 10 days, which is barely anything in my opinion. So if you made, oh my God, I just had an idea as I was talking. If you made a package where you get like a brow lamination, like one brow lamination a month, which would be a little hard because you're not supposed to get brow laminations that often, but like a brow lamination with unlimited tints and like 2 waxes. Like, some, obviously I'm just rattling things off my brain, but this would be really good for you to get a membership. Memberships are nice, or subscriptions, whatever you want to call them, because you get money every single month, and you have people coming in. So one of my mentees is going to do a membership so that she can have clients coming in. Another one of my mentees, which she actually did, which obviously again is a little bit too late, so I'm a little late sharing this with you, is she did gift cards. So if they bought, I think like $150, they got like $50 free. And if they got like 200, they got $100 free. I don't remember, I'm fucking it up. But she did gift cards. And so that way, those gift cards will be redeemed in the future. They'll be redeemed in January and February. Another thing for you to do in January and February that I'm going to do, ask him for referrals. I say this all the time. Ask your clients to bring in their friends and give them a treat. Give them $5 off. Do a raffle. Like, every client that brings people in gets entered into free, I don't know, free lash fills for 3 months or something fun. Do something fun that you know is going to bring you new clients. Again, I am just getting over the craziness of the holiday season, coupled with the fact that I'm working really fucking hard on the trust journey. I just do not have time right now to really take on a lot of clients, but I will in January and February, which is why come like the end of December, January, February, I'm going to push hard referrals, and I am going to push hard content, and I am going to push for the 50% off. You can do this in any industry whatsoever. So if you're like waxing, I would say like your very first wax, reduce barrier to entry. I have a mentee that likes to give away free things. I personally don't, but if that's more your jam, you can do like a free brow wax with Brazilian, or you could do a free brow wax with a lamination, a free tint with a lamination, something like that. You want to entice them. Now, I never talk about running actual sales. I've talked about this before. I think I'm not a big fan of sales unless you have a very specific goal. If your sale is to get money right now and that's all you're thinking about, definitely don't agree with that. But if your sale is, okay, I need to find a way to make long-term clientele, definitely run it once and that's it. Like, limit yourself to one sale a year, which is, this is going to be my sale, my January and February sale. I have never ran a sale. To be honest, it's so out of my character to run a sale that I'm kind of excited to see what I'm going to do with it and if I'm going to be successful in it, because sales, you very rarely work. If you're running a sale every single month after month after month, sales, they're not sales. You just need to lower your prices. So if you are like me and you never run sales, make this sale like one that's killer. But I've said this before in the podcast. If you're going to do this, make sure that you push it hard as fuck. Make sure everyone knows. Make sure your neighbors know. Make sure the girl that does your nails know. Make sure her clients know. Make sure your mama knows. Make sure your mom's church friends know. Push this shit as hard as possible. Do not be embarrassed by the sale, especially if you normally don't run sales. If you are someone who runs sales all the time, you would be better off doing a membership price type of thing. Or if you're someone who's constantly running sales because you don't have enough clients, you really probably need to focus on your content. But if you're someone like me where you're like, I'm kind of running low on clients, I normally never run sales, run a sale and be proud of that sale. Who gives a fuck? Because a lot of people think, people are going to think I don't have clients. People are going to think that, yeah, that's why we run sales, right? Because we don't have the clientele. If we had the clientele, we wouldn't ask to get paid less than we want to get paid. Duh, right? So for me, again, I never ever run a sale. It's very, very rare. I'm trying to think, when's the last, I don't swear to God, I don't think I've ever ran a sale. I've given money off to my loyal clients for 1 month. I think in September for 3 years in a row, all fills were $20 off. But I've never ran a sale overall. So I am very excited to push this, to make content around it, to just get people in. Like I stated, I really only need about 5 clients to come in and stay. Let me word that too. I need 5 clients to come in and stay for the year for me to be satisfied with the result of my sale. Obviously, I wouldn't know if it worked until probably August. If they keep coming, then I'll know that my sale worked. But if you're going to run a sale, scream it from the rooftop. Do not get shy. Do not get scared. Do not feel embarrassed. Literally, you are doing what you need to do for your business to succeed and to grow. Once I figure out my strategy on how I'm going to run this sale, I will make a podcast episode or either a YouTube video breaking it down so that you can steal my strategy. Like I said, right now, I'm just balls deep in the trust journey. So I cannot focus too much on the lash because I am booked up right now. It's not an instant worry right now. Again, like I said, I am also thinking of creating some kind of referral program so that I can reward my clients for bringing me their friends. If you just tell your clients, hey, I need more clients, or hey, don't say that. Don't say I need more clients. But hey, I'm looking for more clients. No, don't say that either. How would I say this? Let me think. Let me get into character. Okay, so I just checked my client out. I'm going to set the scene for you. So I just checked my client out and we're about to make their next appointment. We make their next appointment and I say, okay, and I do want to let you know that I am accepting clients again. So if you have any friends, please do not hesitate to send them my way. You can send them my phone number. You can send them my Instagram. And if you do, there's a little treat for you in the end when they do come in. Okay? All right. Bam. End scene. I got into character. That is literally how I would tell my clients about it. The end. And I won't even tell them what the treat is because I myself don't even know what the fuck the treat is. But I will figure out the treat by the time, obviously, they come back. And another thing that I am doing for January and February to gear up for the quote-unquote slow months is getting centered. If you had a slow November, if you had a slow December, January and February may be even slower because notoriously people overspent in December. They're in debt. They have goals. They're like, I'm going to get a handle on my finances. I'm not going to spend any money. They're doing all this stuff, right? If that's what they're doing, I want you to mentally prepare for you to be slow. Best to prepare for the worst and hope that it doesn't get that bad. But if you were already slow in October, November, December, I don't want to like put that out in the world and like put that stamp that you are going to be slow, but you may be slow in January and February. So if that is the case, then what I want you to do is if you are religious, I want you to pray. I want you to pray to your God to give you patience, to help you withstand discomfort. If you are not religious, I want you to meditate and journal. And when you journal, I want you to journal about safety. Journal what would make me feel safe, even if I don't have the money that I need. So again, this is another thing that I'm doing. I am gearing up. I've never ran a sale, but all of the mentees that I have that have ran sales, it doesn't go well, right? I am mentally preparing myself for it to not go the way I want. Now, naturally, that is not the way I want you thinking. I want you to be as positive as possible. But by me preparing myself for it to not go the way I want, I can regulate my nervous system now, right? Because it's December 18th. I'm not going to really put this plan into action for at least 2 more weeks. But if I can mentally prepare that it's not going to go, I can regulate myself now. I can do the breathing. I can do the journaling. I can do the crying. I can do the freaking out, right? But I'll do it now. So by the time that I go into action and I'm actually taking action, I'm actually going out of my way to market, to tell my clients, to do the work, to do all the stuff, to deal with January and February, I have already gotten all of those icky feelings that I'm not going to be successful or it's not going to work out of my system. And I am now in hustle mode. I am now in action mode. If you don't like this, if you're like, what a negative way to think, I'm just going to think positively. Again, my girl, you don't have to do this. However, if you are like, whoa, what an interesting idea. I do this with a lot of shit. It's not that I'm being negative. Whatever you think of, your body, your brain cannot tell the difference if it's a thought or if it actually happened. So I put myself, let's say, quote unquote, under pressure in the moment when there is no true, real danger. I put it under pressure in my brain. I think of a scenario, I put it in my brain, the feelings come up in my body, I feel the feelings, I journal through the feelings, I meditate through the feelings, I regulate my nervous system through the feelings. So by the time that I'm actually taking action, unfazed, right? So there was a video that I saw on Instagram the other day that said, if you are, if you're 50 and up, you should practice how to fall so that when you fall, your brain knows how to act. And I was having this conversation with this contractor that came to my house, and he's 73, and we were talking about that. And he said that most of his life he was an acrobat. And so he knew how to move and, shift his body. And he said that recently he was skating, which I know, right? A fucking 73 skating. Like, sorry, what are you doing? But whatever. He said he was skating, and when he went to fall, his body, his brain, it moved in a way that caused him to not fall. Like, he was able to catch himself. And he said, you're so right, because I practiced tumbling and being an acrobat for so many years. My brain is used to knowing what to do so that I don't get hurt. So same thing. If my brain and my body is expecting the worst in the now, when I'm already safe, when I'm just in my office recording a podcast and I work through it, I will work through the feelings and the thoughts and the emotions. So when the time comes, all I have to do is take action. Let me know if this works for you. This is a skill that I'm going to teach in depth on how to do it perfectly inside of the trust journey, because I think it is a fucking game changer. It has literally changed so much that I used to be I used to ignore. I used to be into toxic positivity where I would think, no, it's going to work out. It's going to work out. It's going to work out. And I was constantly pushing down negative feelings because I'm like, everything's going to be okay. It's going to work out. It's going to work out. It's going to work out. And then when it didn't work out, I didn't know how to act because I had not practiced feeling those feelings and having those thoughts take over. And that is a skill that if you want to be successful long term, you want to learn. And it's going to be one of the skills inside of the trust journey. I am so freaking excited for this to open, for you to see the videos, for you to sign up, for you to join the calls. I'm so fucking excited. There is so many lessons there. I'm going to have a weekly call, a standing weekly call where you can come and get coached alongside with all the videos that you'll have. It is going to be amazing. It's going to be great. I'm going to watch so many people transform. I will let you know as soon as I am done and the doors are open. I am genuinely excited. I don't know if you can tell. I think this is what I have been missing in my mentorship program, is like a standalone access to videos, because the videos, it will teach you every single skill I talk about on your own time, but you're gonna have weekly calls where we can discuss it together, where we can get where we need to go, and you can finally make your beauty business the beauty business of your dreams in 2025. Thank you so much for listening. I will try my best to keep up with the podcast episodes as I am whipping out the Trust Journey videos and workbooks and all the stuff that you're going to get once you join. Until then, you will either hear from me on the podcast or on a YouTube video.